is Data Privacy and Ethics. My name is Mala Kanatella, and today, me and my fellow data research interns, Aisha Abdullah, Haley Dew, and Tarini Kaladindi, are going to try to answer that question. In particular, we're going to be discussing data privacy and ethics in the context of artificial intelligence. We're going to begin by trying to offer some foundational knowledge in AI and internet privacy. Then, we're going to marry these two concepts and discuss briefly AI and data privacy. And finally, we're going to recommend some best practices that you can use as an everyday user. So, what is artificial intelligence, or AI? It's defined broadly as any computer program that replaces something that previously relied on human judgment. Some common examples you might not be familiar with but interact with every day are wearable fitness trackers, security cameras like Ring doorbells, or email services that automatically filter out junk or spam emails. Then, in November 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT, and our definition of AI significantly changed. Now, we understand products like Google Gemini or Anthropic's Claude as AI. They're essentially AI systems fixed to conversational interfaces. Let's look under the hood at what these chatbot AI systems really are. They start with something called a large language model. These are the brains of an AI system, and they're essentially just making their best guess. So, how are they made? First, engineers have to gather an enormous amount of text data. Over years of living online, we, everyday users, have created vast digital archives of articles, books, code, and more. Engineers take that text and break it down into smaller, computer-readable chunks called tokens. They then take these tokens and feed them into a computer running a statistical model that works like how this image on the right depicts. So, you prompt the AI with something like "I want." What it does is go out into the vast amount of data it's been trained on, and it assigns weights to the different words. How many times have I seen X word follow the token "want"? And it assigns probabilities accordingly. So, in this example, it's seen tacos 75 out of 100 times, sleep 50 out of 100 times, and to study only 25 out of 100 times. It'll then take the token with the most likely probability and include it in its output. So, I want tacos. So now, the chatbot has a brain, or an LLM, that can guess with pretty staggering accuracy perfect natural strings of language. But it's not necessarily at the level of sophistication as the products that we're familiar with, like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. For it to reach that level, it needs some additional help, some fine-tuning. This is commonly referred to as reinforcement learning or instruction tuning. Most importantly, the bot needs to go through a machine learning process. This is the process by which AI learns continually through its interactions with everyday users. It's this machine learning bit that's the most pivotal to understanding modern conversations about AI and privacy. In order for the bot to learn from its interactions with you, it has to remember its interactions with you. That means all your prompts have to be stored, encoded, and integrated into the training data. So, it's the newest way in which you can contribute to your digital footprint. What you type into AI doesn't disappear into thin air. It's out there, floating in backend servers at OpenAI or Google. So, be cautious about what you enter. We've covered what artificial intelligence is and some places where it shows up in your everyday life you might not have recognized before. Then, we discussed AI chatbots, their basic mechanics, and how their basic mechanics lend themselves to conversations about privacy. With that, I think we're ready to move into internet privacy basics.
Now, let's talk about internet privacy, what it means and why it matters, especially when working with youth and technology. We'll focus on three quick things: what counts as personal data, how is that data collected, and why does any of this matter? Let's start with what personal data really includes. Personal data is something that's just more than your name or phone number. There are different categories. First is personally identifiable information, like your name, email, or home address. It's the kind of info people often give away without even realizing its value. Then there's sensitive information, passwords, bank details, medical records. If these get stolen, it can lead to identity theft, fraud, or hacking. And finally, there's your digital footprint, the trail you leave just by using the internet. That includes your browsing history, GPS location, and social media activity. All are tracked automatically, often without you doing anything. These three types, whether they're obvious or hidden, are valuable and vulnerable. Knowing what they are is the first step to protecting them. So, how is this data collected? First, through cookies and trackers. These follow what you do online, what you click, search, how long you stay. All that info is often sent to third party advertisers. Then there is app permissions. Installing an app might ask for access to your location, mic, or contacts. Sometimes that makes sense, like a map app needs a GPS. But many apps ask for more than what they actually need. And that extra data, it can be stored, shared, or sold. Finally, there's public Wi-Fi and browser data. Free Wi-Fi might be handy, but it's often not secure, and your browser may save login info, autofill data, and history, all that are risky if your device isn't protected. All of this adds up, and most of it happens quietly without full control. Here's a quick example for all of us. You're browsing online and for a new backpack, you check a few websites, maybe add one to your cart, but you don't buy it just yet. Later, you open Instagram or watch a video, and suddenly you see ads for that same backpack. What happened? Cookies on that shopping site have tracked your visit, and that data was shared with advertisers who now know you're interested in it and start targeting you. It might feel like your phone is listening to you, but actually, it's just highly effective tracking. So, why does all of this matter? First, it is to protect yourself. Whether the data is stolen, it can be used for hacking accounts or even financial fraud. Second, your data is often shared or sold, not just for advertisers, but to companies building detailed profiles about your behavior. And now, with AI in the place, your data can help train systems that decide what content you see, how you're ranked, or whether you get flagged. So, what can you do? Here's a quick privacy check everyone can do. Do you have any unique passwords or do you reuse the same ones? Have you reviewed app permissions like any access to your location or camera? Do you clear your cookies and browser history, especially on shared devices? And do you avoid like public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks? These small habits go a long way in keeping your data safe and your digital boundaries intact.
AI data and privacy. This section involves a brief explanation of artificial intelligence systems functionality, importance of understanding the ethical use of data in artificial intelligence systems, and how exactly artificial intelligence and privacy concerns overlap in today's digital world. Let's talk about some of the artificial intelligence systems and how exactly they're used when it comes to data. So data collection. So AI systems collects user data through various modes like streaming platforms, online interactions, scanning data, and etc. And devices and more other uses. Data storage. Once these data are collected, how exactly is this information used and stored is also a job of the artificial intelligence systems. So, storing it in large cloud platforms and databases and in confidential structures. This is where we see the centralized versus decentralized models. And then data use. Using all these stored data and these collected data, artificial intelligence systems usually build training models and predictions and recommendations to further strategize their activities. Example, personalized ads and recommendations and reviews across several platforms. Moving on to key issues in AI and data privacy. With everything good comes bad. Likewise, these systems have its surveillance issues. They are integrated into all parts of our lives and hence kind of are data heavy and user data heavy, raising concerns about privacy invasions. Example, facial technology in public spaces. How many faces are these on a day-to-day basis scanning, and privacy issues regarding that. Data leaks. With large personal information being collected and being leaked, being leaked, like assures security breaches and also a large percentage of hacking. Biased data sets. AI systems are trained case models, so usually they're man-made and they can lead to a lot of discriminatory outcomes. And last but not least, ethical dilemmas. Balancing the use of AI systems in organizations with the need to protect individual privacy. So data companies that acquire a lot of personal data and sell it to other parties, other companies as third parties, end up being a problem, right? Without third-party consent or without user consent. Moving on to some of the case studies I did in AI data and privacy. Social media recommendation systems. So how social media platforms generate content as per user data preference using AI systems. How do FYPs on different social medias occur? How do user recommendations so efficient in making users use these apps for a long time? I also looked into hiring algorithms, so platforms like Quincia that are used to screen resumes, listen to pre-recorded interviews, and predict candidate success with help of AI systems. In the recent past, Amazon has faced criticisms for having biases in their hiring algorithm, especially against female applicants. Moving on to common privacy regulations in AI. Let's look at GDPR, which is a general data protection regulation. This specific regulation was bought by the European Union to solidify data protection and privacy for all individuals within European Union and the European Economic Area. Some practices include data minimization, having stringent recording policies, and etc. Then comes the COPPA, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. This act was designed by Congress to protect children under 13 from being subjected to data collection and personal data, usage. So parental consent became mandatory for any data collection of that sort. And last but not least, HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This privacy policy focuses on the use and protection of health-related data. The policy ensures that security and privacy of healthcare patients and medical information, specifically in systems, have AI application. So thank you for listening.
Everyone, individuals, organizations, and communities share responsibilities for protecting data privacy. Good practice includes strong passwords, careful sharing, and ethical data collections. Whether you are a student, a professional, or a nonprofit worker, following these principles builds a safer digital environment for everyone. As individuals, we can start with small but powerful actions. First, use unique and strong passwords with more than 12 characters, mixed case, numbers, and symbols. Prevent using the same passwords for multiple logins to ensure privacy and prevent cybersecurity fraud. Encourage password managers instead of reusing logins, such as NordPass, 1Password, RoboForm, Keeper, etc. Regularly review app permissions. Some apps collect data they don't actually need. And think before you post. Your digital footprint can reveal more than you realize. Awareness is a first step towards online safety. For organizations, the focus is on ethical responsibilities. Adopt fair and transparent AI systems and clearly explain to users how decisions are made. Practice data minimizations. Only collect what's necessary, store securely, and delete it when it's no longer needed. Moreover, gain clear consent by using simple, understandable language so users know how their data will be used. It is also important for organizations to safeguarding youth data by applying stricter controls, limit profiling, avoid target ads, and complying with child protection regulations like COPPA, GDPR-K. Define framework. Organizations should establish a privacy by design framework, embedding privacy protections into systems from the start. At tomorrow's Leaders Today, our focus on data privacy goes beyond compliance. It's about protecting and empowering youth in the digital world. First, empowerment. We give young people the tools and knowledge they need to navigate safety online. Through workshops on digital citizenship, social media safety, and AI awareness, We help them make informed choice about their data. Next, our community approach. We believe protecting vulnerable populations isn't just a rule to follow. It's part of TOT's mission to nurture and safeguard future leaders. Ensuring trust is the heart of everything we do. Transparency helps you and families feel confident that their voices are respected whenever data is collected or shared. We also value partnerships, collaborating with schools, parents, and nonprofits to create a strong safety net that surrounds youth and supports safe online engagement. Finally, safety for youth. We train young people to recognize online risks like scams, cyberbullying, and exploitation, while giving them safe and clear ways to report concerns. Together, these pillars reflect TLT's commitment to building a responsible, informed, and ethical digital community for the next generation. As we close, remember that artificial intelligence runs on data, and that means accuracy, fairness, and privacy matter more than ever. Each of us has a role in safeguarding information, whether you're an individual protecting your accounts, an organization designing ethical systems, or a youth advocate teaching safe digital habits. Your actions shape a more trustworthy online world. Ethical data practices aren't optional, they are essentials for building confidence and safety in every digital interactions. Ethical responsibility goes hand in hand with professional responsibility. For TOT and all youth-serving organizations, privacy and ethics are at the heart of credibility and trust. Building meaningful relationships with communities depends on how responsibly we manage and protect data. By modeling ethical behavior ourselves, we encourage young leaders to value integrity, fairness, and respect in their own digital lives. Before we end, here's our call to action. Be mindful of your digital choices, every password you set, every permissions you grant, and every post you share. Apply what you have learned today. Use Strong's password, review app permissions, and protect youth data whenever you can. And most importantly, keep asking yourself, is this responsible? Is this ethical? Is this safe? Together, we can make TOT a model for trust, safety, and ethical leadership in the digital age. Thank you for your attention and for being a part of the community that values integrity in technologies. And again, thank you for your attention. For any other information about the presentations, please contact TOT interns at totleaders.org or info@totsleaders.org. Thank you and have a good day.